Hey YouTube, it's your girl Dr. J, and I am here talking about Logic. I actually just reshot this video because I had put everything into one video, but I want to divide it into two because I know y'all be thinking, ain't nobody got time for that. Nobody want to watch, 20 minutes of you. So I'm going to try to break these down into smaller videos. But I am a big fan of teaching Logic in the homeschool classroom. A lot of people completely ignore Logic because it tends to not be spoken about in curriculums that you use, and there's no, people don't think there's testing around it. So a lot of times people think that teaching Logic isn't important, but Logic is such an important concept for you to really tackle with your child. One of the reasons is because Logic is all about teaching you how to think efficiently, how to think effectively, how to think quickly, how to be able to step back and analyze a situation. So I am a really big fan of teaching Logic starting very young. My kids have been, playing around with Logic since they were 3-4 years old, and we do it routinely in our homeschool now. So let's get started. These are going to be workbook types of Logic things. I'm going to come back and do another video on hands-on Logic, but first we're going to start with the workbooks. This is a math analogies workbook, and it is for K through 2nd students. Really good because they start with not a whole lot of reading, so your child will be able to get the concept before they have to start, reading the words and stuff like that. So, but just really good, really deep logic. And with all these Logic books, I promise parents, the answers are going to be in the back of the book. So if you like me, like my kids, they run circles around me when it comes to IQ and just thinking and processing. So I need the answers in the back of the book. So this is the first one. This is a beginner level analogy challenges, and the beginner level is the K through 2nd level, and I'm going to show you guys the A level, which is 3rd through 5th grade as well. But as you can see, in the beginner level, it relies a lot on pictures. So that's really good for younger children, but they are still doing challenging logic problems, but it's just, recognizing where they are. And they're just really good. This is from Mindware. And here is the analogy challenges for level A. And so it's 3rd through 5th grade, so it focuses a little bit more. You have more reading. And it has things like, cowboy is to rodeo, like circus is to what? And the answer is clown. But it gets more complex, like mistake is to error, like what is to engine. And the options are car, train, tracks, or motor. And so, and what you do is that for these, there is a letter that's underlined, and for the right answer, you put the letter that's underlined here, and it'll spell out a word. And so it'll say, unscramble the 4 letters from the circle above and find the answer to the following analogy. Grill is to what, like boil is to vegetable. So they'll know if their answer is right based on if they can unscramble the letters and solve the additional riddle at the bottom of the page. So it's really good, and it is challenging. It's really challenging. These are Perplexes, and this is Perplexes level A by Mindware. And basically your child will just have to go through the story and have the clues, and then they'll start to cross things out, and then the last one standing in each row, that tells them exactly what they're looking for. So for this one, it says, based on the clues, match the pirates with their boats and their order of finish. So they're going to have to say, who was the captain, what was, what boat was the captain pirating, and what place did they come on. So, and it has just all those, all the way through. And then we have math Perplexes. So the one I just showed you was Perplexes. This is math Perplexes, also by Mindware. And basically these are going to be, like, for instance, this one, it has a story. It says, Ned, Nancy, Norman, and Nellie took trips to Finland, Norway, France, and Italy. They visited these countries for 28, 24, 14, and 17 days. At the airport, they were delayed 31, 27, 23, and 4 hours. Based on the clues, match the names with the countries they visited, the length of their visits, and the hours they were delayed. And then you have clues on the side. So as they go through, they're just going to, you know, again, just cross things out. And then as they cross things out, they're going to be able to step back and go, oh, I know, you know, that Ned went to this place, he stayed for this many days, and he was delayed this many hours. So it's really good because it just teaches your child really how to read carefully. I don't know about you guys, but since my kids are dyslexic, dyslexics tend to read the gist of things, and sometimes they lose a lot of details. And so these are great for my kids because it requires them to kind of focus on the details. If you have a child that tends to read through things and they don't really take their time, Perplexes are great because it's going to force them to kind of take their time as they go through it, but they're fun and they're quick. If I try to force my dyslexic children to deep read every single thing they read, it would be overwhelming, and it wouldn't be fun, and they wouldn't love reading. But sitting back and having them do these things when it's time for them to read deeply, like if they're going to have to sit down for a standardized test or a high stakes test like the SAT or ACT, this is going to make sure that they have the skill necessary to do it, but it's not drill and kill. Visual discrimination. This is really good. It's all about exploring and solving picture patterns. So you can have a non-reader do these. It's just solving the patterns that they're seeing. And really, really important tool. Visual discrimination is so important, integral for being able to read effectively, and it's training that all kids really need, especially when they get into geometry and solving, you know, like higher level math. Being able to sit back and see those equations is going to be really important. This is critical thinking activities, and it is for grades K through 3rd. And it's all about logic, and it's from Dale Seymour Publications. And this one grades K through 3, and it has just various, like this one, it says fill in the missing numbers in each chart. And so, you know, basically they're going to go through and fill in the numbers, but it says, what is the pattern of the missing numbers in chart 2? So in chart 2, they're actually going to have to figure out that the pattern is that they were counting by threes. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, those are the ones that are missing. So it's going to have your child see, are they just, you know, blindly doing work and not thinking about it? Or when they're actually doing their work, are they thinking about what they're doing? Like, that's a great skill to have, to make sure that when you're doing your work, you're conscious and cognizant of the work that you're doing, and you're not just doing busy work and going into la la land while you're doing your work. So they're not hard, but they require focus. That's what this book is all about, helping your child learn how to focus on their work. But again, not drill and kill. This is, you know, you do, you know, a page or two a week. That's it. This is Connections. And this book is at the 2nd through 4th grade level. And this is from Proof Press, which is for gifted children. They specialize in work for gifted children. And again, it's those logic problems where they give you a scenario and you go through the steps to solve it. It's kind of like, if your child likes mysteries, these kind of logic things are going to be great. So the puzzles, your child should be able to be successful with the puzzle within, you know, 50 minutes. So yeah, it's going to take some time, but it's going to be great for your child. This is Suppose the Wolf Were an Octopus. I showed this before, and it is literature based, but it really goes into Bloom's taxonomy of higher learning, with Bloom's taxonomy and questions that go all the way through evaluation. You know, so it, you know, goes from knowledge, comprehension, application, through analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. This is for the K through 2nd, and then it has 3rd through 5th. So, but they use books that you already have, like Alexander the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, Madeline books, Madeline books, I mean. So it's going to be books that you have for most of these. 3 Billy Goats, Gruff. these are workbooks that I have. Like this one is Aesop's Fable 1. This one is, 2. This one is 3, 2, and 1. And basically, your child, reads about the fable. Like this is the goose and the golden egg, and then it has, what was the moral of the story, and then words to know: surprise, pure, greedy, shouting, excited, wicked, golden, content, and then a picture for them to color. And then it says write a sentence about the picture and then color the picture. So it's these books are really, they're for younger children. Like this one has like masks on the back of the book for them to cut out. And so, but it's going to be kind of those, the fox and the lion, the gardener and his dog. And so these are fun workbooks for your children to do. And this one is The Animal Kingdom by Catherine Hegman. And it is from the Royal Fireworks Press. And, it's just about, looking at things in the animal kingdom, like, yeah, this is the animal, but what are some things that I want to, what do I know? What do I need to know? How do I get better at knowing it? So it's taking logic and putting it into a context for your child. So they go beyond, just doing logic with no context to doing logic with context. Here's another example of doing logic with context. These are spelling doodles. And, you have different spelling doodles for them to figure out. For instance, it says, I'm used to gather leaves when on the ground they lie. Now change the R to B. I'm how you cook a pie. What am I? So, of course, I'm used to gather leaves when on the ground they lie. That's a rake. And then now change the R to B. I'm how you cook a pie. So the word that you're looking for is actually bake. And so it's taking logic and putting it in context. And this is the A1 book for grades 2nd and 3rd. And these, go up accordingly. But again, none of this is drill and kill. This is just for your kids to kind of have fun with it, explore, for you to have fun with your kids. So I hope this encourages you to maybe pick up, just 1 or 2 workbooks. You guys don't have to be like me and go overboard and buy all of the ones that they sell. Just 1 or 2. Do 1 or 2 pages just once or twice a week, and your child will be good to go. This is Dr. J, and I'm going to come back with part 2. I'm going to show you some hands-on logic activities. This is Dr. J, and I'm out. Bye.